Yes, ma'am. Your next question?
Mr. Baruch, were
We're
you
back.
still?
Okay.
Thank you for coming back.
Yes.
Were you still living in penthouse 2 of the Eastern Columbia building on May 21st, 2016?
Yes.
Do you recall what you were doing that evening?
Yes.
What were you doing?
I was out. It was evening time. I'm out in the neighborhood, and I'm on my way home. I get a phone call from my friend who wants to know if I want to go out and eat. I said I just ate, but I'm 5 minutes away from the Eastern Columbia building home, and go across the street, get something to eat, and bring it up for takeout, and we'll go upstairs to my joint and we'll eat and yap.
Did you meet your friend back at the Eastern Columbia building?
Yeah,
Around what time was that?
9:30.
What happened after you met your friend?
We went upstairs.
Can we pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 116 again, please? And Your Honor, given that this has already been admitted, I'd ask that it be published.
All right, that's fine. You can publish it. He just can't see it. It's not on his- Okay, he still has it.
Mr. Baruch, is it on the screen in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Mr. Baruch, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about what happened after you went upstairs that evening. And it may be helpful for you. There are controls on that screen that you can use to sort of mark the exhibit to show the jury the spots that you're talking about and identifying.
So if you just touch it, it'll make a mark, so you don't have to touch the top. That's fine.
Do I touch
No.
something on menu here?
No, you don't. No, just wait, and you can
Oh.
touch it whenever she needs you to mark it.
Just wherever I touch it, it's going to make a mark.
It will.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Baruch, when you got upstairs that evening with your friend around 9:30,
Yeah.
What did you see?
We got out of the elevator, and just like in the graph, you make a left and then you turn the corner. When we walked out, I noticed on the floor there's shards of glass. There's pieces of glass, and so I was just looking, going, oh, something busted. Could be one of the sconces or something like that, and kept walking.
Can you mark on the exhibit where you saw the broken glass that evening?
Yeah. Boom. Right there. Right where you could go left or you could go right. And if you wanted to go to the pool area, there's an exit that way. So you could either go right or you go left. You go left, you're in the apartment, going in the hallway through the apartment, or you go right there in that spot.
And did you continue on to your penthouse after you saw the broken glass?
Oh, yeah. So we walk around, and then we make the turn. We hang the right past penthouse 5, and we stop right in front of, right here.
Why did you stop right there?
Oh, stopped in front of here, penthouse 1, which is it's more right there, because there's this puddle of wine, huge puddle of wine on the floor that's in front of the door, and there's wine, the splashed wine that's dripping down the wall. And so we stopped, and I'm looking at it and going, look at this. Someone must have got hammered. These guys probably had a party. And at that point, right then, as soon as I said that, the door opens up, and it's Josh Drew, who pokes his head out the door, only enough for his head to come out. And he's pretty bug-eyed and looks distraught. And I look at him and I go, what's up with the spilt wine? And I'm figuring I'd get an explanation or whatever. And he looked at me and just said, rough day, had a rough day. And at that point, I got concerned and said to him, because I'm friends with him, I got concerned. I said, hey, you okay? You want me to help you with something? Do you need help? He said, no, it's okay. We got it. And I said, okay. And me and my buddy took off and went into my place.
And what did you do after that?
My buddy ate. I believe he had pizza from across the street, and we talked. We yapped for a while, and could be I could yap, so it could it could take. We were there probably an hour and change or something like that, and then we're done. So I walked him out and walked down. Went to the elevator, walked out, went to the elevator. We went downstairs. I walked him out the door, finished the conversation that we were having, and I said, "All right, see ya." And then I went back in. I went upstairs and I went to bed.
Around what time was that you went back into the Eastern Columbia building?
You know something? If we got there at like around 9:30, and we're talking, I don't know, an hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere around 11 o'clock, I would think.
We can go ahead and take Exhibit 116 down. Mr. Baruch, can you describe for the jury the events of the next day, May 22nd, 2016?
Yes. It's my birthday. May 22nd is my birthday. I wake up, I end up texting Johnny and saying, "Hey, I'm going to be in town," because he's not staying at the Eastern Columbia building. He's staying in a house in town. Okay? And so I texted him. It's my birthday. I said, "Listen, I'm going to be in town. I'm going to come by and to have a birthday drink." Okay. I didn't hear from him. I didn't get an answer back. But I said, "That's what I'm doing. If that happens, that happens." But so it was around noon time so I left. I walked out of my apartment. And I go through the hallway, as you see the graph. I go through the hallway, and I turn the corner from Penthouse 3. And as I'm walking down, well, who do I see? I see a group of people. It's a guy in black clothes, a black shirt, black pants, Embherherd, and I see Josh Drew, who's leaning up against the door, and the door is open. This door is open. Something's going on, and as I'm walking up, I'm saying, "Hey, what's up? What are you guys doing?" And then Amber turns to me as I'm walking up. Amber turns to me, and she says, "Johnny came by last night. He got violent, so I'm changing the locks on 1, 3, and 5. And I'm looking at her, and she goes, "Oh, and don't worry about 2. You're okay." And at this point, I'm now walking past. So now we're all in front of the open door of the apartment, and I see there's 2 guys, 2 locksmiths working on the door. So now I'm standing on one side, and you have Josh Drew on one side of the door. You got the 2 locksmiths with the door open, working on it. The sun's coming through the door. Sunlight from windows, and then Amber is in front of me, and there's the security guy, and that we're 2 feet away from each other, talking, and she introduces me as she's finishing saying, "Oh, don't worry about your apartment." She says, "Oh, and this is a security guard that I got who's going to be hanging around." And I got introduced. She introduced me to him, and I shook his hand. He gave me a card, which I lost, and I'm kind of taking this in and going, and I said, "Wait, what happened? What's going on?" And at that point, Josh Drew looks at me and gives me the high sign to like, "Hey, follow me. I'll tell you in private." And
Mr. Baruch, when you were speaking with Ms. Hurd, how close were you standing to her?
like I said, I'm 2 feet, a foot and a half, 2 feet away. We're all 2 feet.
And how was the lighting in that area?
There's lights in the hallway, but we're standing in an open doorway that the wall is all windows. Sunlight's coming through, and you could operate in this light. There's that much light.
Did you notice any marks on her face when you were speaking with her?
No.
Did you see any bruises?
No.
Did you see any redness?
No.
Did you notice any swelling?
No.
Did it look like Ms. Heard was wearing any makeup?
No.
Had you seen her wearing makeup before?
Yeah.
And you had seen her not wearing makeup before?
Yeah, I've seen, like I said, with the face mask, doing a face mask, no makeup, hanging around, waking up in the morning, no with makeup, glammed out to go out. And it's 3.5 years of seeing her in different forms.
Did you speak with Mr. Drew about anything at that point?
Well, yeah, after I said that, hey, what's going on, and he gave me the high sign to like, hey, follow him. We went into my apartment and had a conversation.
And what happened after you had that conversation with Mr. Drew?
We left the apartment and we go walking back towards penthouse 1. And as I'm walking back, I say to Amber, as I'm walking up, he hit you? And she goes, yeah, he threw a phone at me and hit me. And I'm looking, because I had just seen her 2 feet away, and I'm going, where? And she puts her head out. She puts her face out like that for me to look at her, the right side of her face. And I'm looking, but at that point also, I'm looking, and I turn around, get on the other side. We're in the doorway. So I'm on this side, with the light shining this way from the doorway with the lights above, but the sunshine, and she's got her face out like this, looking, to show me, and I'm looking, and I inspect the face. I'm looking at her forehead, I'm looking at the side of her eye, I'm looking at her cheek, I'm looking at her chin, I'm looking at the other side of the face, I'm looking at the whole thing, and I don't see anything. I don't see anything I don't see a cut, a bruise, swelling, redness. It's just Amber's face that she's going like this and showing me. So I'm not seeing anything. I back up and I'm making a joke. I make a joke going, well, I don't see anything, but maybe all the beauty from one side of your face to the other side of the face is outshining everything, so I can't see anything. And she's laughed and she's, smiled. And I just looked at everybody and said, hey, it sounds nuts. And I went and I said, I gotta go. And I gave her a hug and kissed her on that side of the face. And then I left. Said goodbye.
What was her reaction when you kissed her on that side of the face?
Nothing.
Did she flinch?
No.